everyone, my name is Jo and I love to read. Today I'm going to be doing my March 2021 reading wrap up. Now this is going to be a very short wrap up because I only read one book in March. Things got very derailed with the last minute wedding planning. I got married on the 27th of March and so the majority of the month I was planning wedding stuff in the time when normally I would be reading. I have an utter feeling of relief now that I don't have anything much on my schedule that demands as much attention as wedding planning does, although I did have a wonderful day and I'm so glad for the experience and I'm so glad to have been so close to the planning. It's just nice that I get to focus back on reading now because I feel like I've been reading the same book forever and ever. But the one book I did finish towards the start of March was the 9th book in the Sword Art Online series, which is Sword Art Online Alicization Beginning by Riki Kawahara. This one I didn't rate very highly at all. I think it was either 2 or 3 stars. This felt like very much of a reread for me because I have actually already watched the anime Sword Art Online as far as it has been dubbed, which is beyond this particular arc or most of this arc. And you know how a lot of adaptations, generally there is more information to be gained from reading the books and just from partaking in other media, particularly reading books, you get more insight. This there wasn't, and it just felt like a massive reread, but even more in depth of a storyline that I don't really care about, which was very disappointing. It took so long to get through this very small book. Sword Art Online is a massive universe that is based in full dive virtual reality technology, which allows the user to put on some kind of technology, normally like a headset or something like that, and dive into the world and experience this as many gamers like myself wish the technology was here already. The initial books in this series are really good, but I'm finding I'm being a little bit more disinterested the further we get along. They're very episodic and it feels like almost like these worlds are being created and the epicness is just not there anymore like there was in the first series with the first game. We're now on game number 3 or 4 or something like that when there's more things to face, and I appreciate that with this book Kawahara tried to go in a new direction. He tried to continue building upon the idea that certain virtual presence and certain AIs can actually be human-like and can actually have emotions and feelings just like us humans. And not so much in this book, but I know that there is a larger conversation at play in the later ones about what makes us human, and if something can have thoughts and feelings and emotions, why is it not classed as human? Like I know like pets and stuff like that, they're not human, but they're real. We consider them real. So why doesn't AI, why is that not a real being that we should treat with rights and respects? Unfortunately, because he was going in this direction and we're not quite at those conversations at the moment, we're still stuck in a lot of technology conversation. Kawahara introduces a new set of technology in this book and he spends so much of the beginning talking about it, and it is really not interesting to someone like me. But even still, when we get into the game and actually start experiencing it as a person, as if we were living it, it's still not very interesting at all. Probably, again, take this with a grain of salt because I have watched the anime before. I knew what was going to happen, but probably what the anime actually succeeded in speeding up, the book slowed down and it was really boring. So much setup. There is definitely a reason why this is called Beginning. It was just slow, just really slow. I nearly DNF'd it. I actually skipped a whole bunch of pages, read the ending pages, still wasn't very keen. I'm marking this as read because I've read the majority of it, but it was very difficult to get through, and I am going to be trying the next book in the series because I've already got it, and I also know that the anime, because I've watched the anime, I know that this series picks up, but I'm really hoping that it gets better. Otherwise, potentially I'm going to be DNFing this, which will be sad because I really like watching the adventures of Kirito and Asuna. And can you hear my dog giving me attitude? And I want to see what happens with them. I want to learn what happens with them. I want to see whether some of the books that have been published in English go beyond the anime and I can catch up while the anime is still being subbed. Sorry, while the anime is still being dubbed. but I'm just not sure, so we'll see with that one. That is it for March. Like I said, it was very brief, only one book, but hopefully I will be back in full force at the end of April. Thanks everybody so much for sticking around with my channel. I'm really sorry if you were disinterested in the wedding stuff. I have changed, I've said it in a vlog before, but I've changed my vlogs so they're not just reading, they're a little bit of life as well, because I like talking about that, but it's going to be more reading again and a little bit less life. I know I got very crazy with the wedding stuff, and I know there are people that were interested in that, but probably a lot of people that were just here for the books and were a bit like, come on Joe, I don't care that you're getting married. But it was all consuming my life for well, not all consuming, but it was very much a part of my life at that stage. And thank you so much for sticking around, especially if it was boring you. The reading content is going to be back, and even though I will have some life updates in my vlogs, it's not going to be as crazy, and I'm not going to spend a million vlogs talking about the same book because that was even boring me. So thanks everybody so much for sticking around with me. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, leave me a comment down below if you feel like it, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I'll talk to you guys again next time. Bye!